Leos, what's good? All my Leo sun, moon, and ascendants. And this is going to be specifically for my Leo risings. Shout out to y'all. What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Dave B watching Beyond Astrology, where we're going deep into the different aspects of astrology, spirituality, as well as, we're going to dive into the neuroscience. We're going to dive into some other aspects and things, but this is all about personal development, spiritual empowerment, and all that good stuff. And I am here to deliver y'all January horoscope breakdown. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing these. This is my first time on this channel doing these. I didn't even really do these on my Day Beyond TV channel, but I want to, someone had put this in the comments. So I'm like, you know what? Let me go ahead and do my part, right? Because I just want to provide y'all with the most value. So if you already rock with me, you know what I'm saying? Hit me with a like, drop a comment, you know what I'm saying? Do all the different things that help the channel grow. But anyway, let me get off of that. This is about y'all, you know what I'm saying? My Leo rising. So how I'm gonna do these is we're gonna focus on where the sun is transiting in your chart. So the sun is where your focus needs to be at, and then we also gonna talk about a couple different things, key moments, key transits during the month of January. We're gonna keep it short and sweet, or well, I'm gonna give y'all reading. So however long it is however long it is. But anyway, let's go ahead and dive into it. So for the most part, Capricorn, you're going to be experiencing in the month of January, we experience Capricorn and Aquarius season, right? Your opposite, right? But it's not all bad. It's really, I don't really look at it like a good or bad thing. Just what you're going to be dealing with for the most part is the sun going through your sixth house of work routine schedules. And again, if you have different, depending on your house degree and stuff like that, it might be different. But just find the different readings that you need that kind of encapsulate where the sun is going to be transiting, and that'll give you your complete reading. You know what I'm saying? We're really all the signs. We got all the signs in us. So what I'm saying, maybe you need to look at all the signs if you're really into this stuff. But anyway, for the most part, most of y'all, majority of y'all gonna be dealing with the sun going through your sixth house and then into your seventh house, right? So starting with the sixth house, again, work routine schedules, and it's gonna be with Capricorn energy. So already, for the most part, like this already, y'all already hardworking individuals for the most part. Like I rarely find lazy Leo risings. And the only time it really comes off as laziness, I wouldn't call it laziness for real, but it comes off that way is when you're not passionate about it, or when it's not something that you actually see the purpose of working on it. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, y'all take y'all work very seriously when it's time to work. So with the sun transit in this, this could be a time where you might find yourself moving around, trying to get things in order, and also it being Capricorn season. So, Gregorian calendar New Year energy is always going to kind of throw you off if you're not aware that the real New Year actually starts in Aries season. So don't fall for that. Like kind of what you want to. So don't. And what I mean by don't fall for that, I mean don't allow yourself to kind of be too heavy on you when it's not necessary. January, February, and then the beginning of March up until the 20th, where we hit Aries season, is really about trying to set the tone, right? You're setting the tone. You're putting a resolve to different things. You're tying up loose ends, especially from 2025, which was a 9 year. Now we're in a energetically, we've already shifted, like with numerology, we've already shifted into a 1 year. So it's already about kind of switching the tone and figuring out, okay, how do you want your next 9 years to look like, right? And I would advise people to start small and then build out, right? Think big, dream big, but start small and in small incremental steps that'll build the momentum for you to actually make progress and feel like, okay, yeah, I'm on the right path. But it really starts with, this energy right now. This is really just like Capricorn is the initiator of the winter season, which winter is all about transformation, transition. So we're transitioning out of something, right? So you might feel the pressure based upon the rest of the world and how it's operating, right? To be like, man, you already have to be, you know, already deep into your whatever they call, oh, your New Year's resolutions and stuff. Like, nah, nah, nah. What you really more so need to be doing is establishing what you want the year ahead to look like, And now let's start to map that out. Let's start to create the blueprint for that. That's what Capricorn is the best for, blueprinting, and then initiating with small steps that you can keep consistent with. Now, there's going to be a lot of heavy energy for y'all Leos throughout the year. Like this, you got Jupiter transiting your sign soon. You're going to feel a lot of that Neptune in Aries and Saturn in Aries energy. You're going to be feeling a lot of pressure from Pluto. You know what I'm saying? Pluto being in your opposite sign, which it already is right now. So there's a lot you're going to start to feel. You probably already feel. You know it's a big year for you, right? But you just need to take it one day at a time. But it starts here. So routine schedules. So based upon whatever it is that you do, and of course, like I'm keeping these broad and general for the people, for the message, for the collective and things like that. But if you would like a personalized reading, just let me know. Send me an email at daybeyond95@gmail.com with astrology help in the subject line, and I'll get right to you with one-on-one. Because like I do my readings based upon what your needs are. So, and depending on what it is that you as an individual are into. So you might not be into the same things that the next person is, but so there's a certain, there might be certain details that I could add to that to give you a little more of a specific like idea of how you should be moving. But for the most part, you already know what to do. You know what I'm saying? Let's be real. You know what to do. You know what it is that you want to accomplish this year. And if you don't know yet, you should be considering it. We got the new moon coming up in a couple days, maybe like a week in a day or something like that. We just got out of the full moon, so right now we're in a waning period, right? So waning periods is kind of time for us to kind of, it's like energy is dying down a little bit, but for the most part it's like at the same time um getting serious. You probably already getting, feel the serious energy. Is Capricorn season. So really what I would say is like at this point, organizing. So, for y'all, it's kind of simple. It's like you're just putting something on routine. So once you establish what you want your year to look like, then it's kind of like reverse engineering to kind of figure out what are the small things that are going to actually get you to that point. And when you break it down like that, it's really not a lot of rocket science. Now, this energy is going to be shifting into your seventh house by around the 15th, right, about midway. That's when we're going to go into Aquarius season, and that's going to be your opposite energy. So right now with Capricorn, the thing about Capricorn energy for you right now is that it's an in conjunction. So it's almost like Mr. Miyagi shit, where you might not understand to the fullest magnitude what the work you're doing now is going to lead to. But this is where you kind of have to have a little bit of that faith, a little bit of confidence. And faith is big for you too, because you got Jupiter sitting in your 12th house and it's been in there for a while. It's either in your 12th house or it might be in the 11th house for some of y'all. But for the most part, it's sitting right there behind you in your subconscious. So, with Jupiter in the 12th house, this has already kind of given you, this should have already kind of been giving you the inspiration to kind of think bigger than you might have already been thinking. So, with that energy and then mix it with that Capricorn energy, this is a prime energy for you to start to, kind of set yourself up for what you want to build and what you want that to look like. Um, but it's going to require that faith that the work you're doing is actually leading somewhere. Really, all you got to do for the month of January and a little bit of February is keep your mind clear, protect your mind from the negative thoughts that might be trying to consume you and persuade you out of what it is that you actually probably want to experience. Now, like I said before, the sun, you got a lot of energy moving in your sixth house. You know what I'm saying? You got Mars in there, you got Mercury. So, you might be overworking yourself too. That's another thing you got to be mindful of, is that you're not burning yourself out. Mars is in your sixth house. So again, Mars is exalted in Capricorn. So you could be going super hard. And again, even though you're putting in hella work, if that work is not directed towards the thing that you want to see built, you're going to feel like it's a waste at the end of the day, and it's going to continue to drain you. So you just have to keep that in mind. It's really big too for y'all Leo risings, because that Capricorn in the sixth will already put anything you work on in hyperdrive, and then you'll be taking it so seriously you forget that the way you operate on a Leo tip is to have fun. So, especially if you got a sun, moon, another planet there, or Mars there in Capricorn too, you take something that's supposed to be fun and you drain yourself by just overworking it. So you just want to be mindful of that. But a lot of these energies are going to transition into your seventh house, and that's going to turn into the question being, okay, now that you worked on whatever you worked on, this is now your opportunity to build a relationship with it, right? So you can kind of see where if you are not reminding yourself to have to enjoy what it is that you're working on in the sixth house, it can turn into a very toxic relationship with it when it gets into your seventh house, where now all of a sudden you want to alienate yourself from it, or the type of associations that what you was working on brought to you aren't the ones that you want to relate to. That's another big one. So even consider, like, if you want to, a lot of people have aspirations to own their own business or be a content creator or be an artist. You want to make sure that you're working on the type of projects that you want to work on. You want to almost, again, anything you're trying to manifest, you want to try to create small, realistic actions towards that. So you want to, if you want to turn yourself into a content creator, let's say you do got a goal, like I want to quit my job and I'm trying to be on some different kind of shit next year, or in the next coming years, then you need to start to put that into practice, right? And then when the new moon hits, the new moon is going to be in late Capricorn. This is going to be a time where whenever we're going through a new moon waxing period, it's time to practice what you preach. So if that's what you want to build for yourself, you need to start to, well, by that time the sun will already be kind of moving into Aquarius. So you want to make sure now you're getting a jump start, and making time in your schedule for the thing you actually want to keep doing on and on and on and build a relationship with. So if that's content creating, then go ahead and start to get your notepad and start to plan out your content. And matter of fact, I also offer consulting for content creation and things like that. And hit me up on just send me an email again. But my Dave Beyond TV channel, that's really where the entrepreneurship and the business aspect of things. I talk about spiritual topics over there too, just because that's part of who I am. But it's mainly I'm really focusing on the practical aspects, and getting down to how we can actually shift and build something. That's for all my creators, my creatives, and things like that. So check me out on that channel as well. But for the most part, that's what the new moon is here for too, is to kind of carry you along. Again, that's going to be the introduction into the relationship that you're building with the different things that you're trying to do in the next coming year, really. But it all starts with this. This is the foundation for that. This is the blueprint for that, really, I should say. The foundation is established in Taurus season, but we are hitting the blueprint right now. So it's very important that you keep that in mind. And again, put things into practice, but don't put too much pressure on yourself where it's almost like you're trying to hit a full-on sprint when this is a marathon. We got 300 and what X amount of days left. And we didn't even really hit the new year yet. You know what I'm saying? So just, relax on that tip. But I get it. You do want to take it serious. Um, One thing to keep in mind, like I said before, at the end, like around the 27th, I want to say, just late January, you got Neptune going into Aries, which for you, that'll be in your ninth house. So that's actually really exciting. You know what I'm saying? That's a really exciting energy. You're gonna have a lot of inspiration, wanting to expand on the things that you've been dreaming about. Hopefully your dreams are something that look like prosperity and not something that look like a nightmare, not something that look like a delusion that lead, other people off a cliff and lead you off a cliff with it. Saturn is going to be there as well too. So you're going to feel a little bit more pressure to learn and kind of be on your curriculum. Whatever it is that you're trying to expand in, and that's a key word too, because Jupiter is going into your sign eventually as well. So consider what you want to expand in, Leo's. Like that's what the vibe of this year is going to be kind of for you overall. But consider what you want to expand in, and that'll be just a powerhouse energy. Now, even though these look like positive, and I might be talking about it in a positive way, it's going to come with a lot of pressure. You know, with great power comes great responsibility. Y'all got a lot of power to work with this year. So, you know, set yourself up right and create a solid routine or a system that can support that. And you also got Uranus giving you a little bit of friction, you know, late degrees, but for the most part, you know, it ain't nothing new. It ain't nothing new. Also, Chiron trining your rising as well. So, you know, thinking about some of your wounds and stuff like that, how you can transform or how you can continue to heal through taking action, learning new things too, learning through your pain. Again, these are growing pains. And then, of course, you got Pluto that's opposite you early degrees in Aquarius, and that's just gonna be that's the transformation you're just gonna have to prepare yourself for. Everybody gonna have to brace themselves for that. But this is again a very pivotal year for you in general. This is a year where you might have to put some childish things aside and grow into who you're really supposed to be. So, anyway, I hope this was helpful. Like I said before, please drop me a like or a comment and just show love to the channel. Subscribe to your boy if you enjoy this type of content. And again, yeah, just trying to provide y'all with as much value as I can. Also, check out my Day Beyond TV channel if you are a hybrid creator, an artist, an entrepreneur, a content creator, whatever may have you. Go ahead, check out my other channel too. So much love, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.